Oh, hey, Alice. How's it going? Good to
Hey,
see you.
Alice, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Alice.
Alice
You,
Cooper, I've been a fan of your work for many years. I'm looking forward to seeing you in San Diego on the 17th.
Yes.
So
49ers.
I got to ask the listener, like, did you drink the little bottle to get to the podcast, or was it like a red pill, blue pill sort of situation? Like, where does the Cheshire Cat and or Morpheus play into this situation?
No, the Cheshire Cat would not be Morpheus. The caterpillar that was fucking doing bong rips would be Morpheus.
You're absolutely right about that. I guess that makes the Cheshire Cat Trinity in that situation.
No, the Mad Hatter would be Trinity.
Or like Dozer. Dozer was the best character in the Matrix.
No, dude, mine was APOC.
Yeah. Well, and Ralph, what's his name that plays the villain so well because he plays such a shitty dude all the time so well.
Who the bald dude with the mustache?
Yeah, Cypher, but he's like one of my favorite actors. He's in Sopranos and other stuff too. He's incredible, but he's such a little weasel that you love to hate, and it's a good actor that can make you hate every character that he is. It's great.
have you guys
Tom
seen the new
Cruise
one?
does that for me.
The new Matrix. I got like halfway through it and fell asleep because
Okay.
and anytime I watch TV, I fall asleep now. It seems
Nice.
like.
I was gonna watch it. We watched the first one because my girlfriend hasn't seen any of them. And everyone kind of tuned out to the Matrix 1 because they were as excited about it as I was. I was like, hold on, he's gonna do the thing where he dodges the bullets, and no one gave a shit. So I don't know if we're gonna watch it.
I tried to rewatch all of them to watch the new one, and I feel like the first one is like the second and third ones are so forgettable. And then like
No, that's not true. The second one, they have that 35-minute scene where they don't do anything and they just fuck in front of the fireplace, and then they dance and have sex in the underground city. And Morpheus is wearing that cool cloak.
Dope. I'm not, but I mean, like, they could have knocked that out in about 5-10 minutes.
Well, then there's the part in Matrix 3 where Neo's fucking blind for some reason, then he can use the Force outside of the Matrix unexplicably.
What the
or
fuck?
inexplicably.
I
whatever.
haven't seen
Absolutely the
2 or
Matrix.
3. I actually haven't seen either of those, and that sounds amazing. I kind of want to watch them now.
Oh, dude, there's a mech suit battle in the third one.
What?
Dude,
It's freaking bananas.
Okay.
in a movie more of its time than The Matrix 2. It's like the most 2002 movie you're ever going to watch in your whole life.
It sounds amazing.
That scene Sean was talking about was mostly just a rave. Mostly a rave.
No, raves have lights. They just had drums and slow-mo.
Do raves have slow-mo? I feel like that's an after effect that's added by the cameraman. I feel like you're not like experiencing this. Well, I guess depending on what drugs you're taking, you might be experiencing the slow-mo at the rave.
No,
I don't know.
That part is the only scene I really remember besides when bad CGI Neo fights like 30,000 agents at one time. And it's like, it looks like a cutscene from a fucking like Sega Dreamcast game.
Oh, biggest bummer of the new Matrix though is that what's his name is not playing Agent Smith.
Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Morpheus.
Yeah,
No,
Elrond.
that's that too.
I want to know what the behind the scenes beef is on why Lawrence Fishburne isn't Morpheus in the new one.
So, okay, no spoilers on it or anything, but I will say they fucking spliced in footage from from the older movies, like all throughout the new movie. It's like half the footage is because they keep doing these recaps, and they instead of reimagining it, they just used old footage, and they keep doing it. It's like half the movie.
Dude, the weirdest part in the new Matrix movies where Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showed up.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Not spoilers or anything, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel like that's the case when they just suddenly change what actor is playing a character. I call that fresh princing. You know, like the middle of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they just changed who played the aunt, and you were just supposed to be like, oh, I guess Phil got remarried or some shit. But like, no, it's just they got another actress to play the exact same character with no explanation.
They
Best
did that.
instance of
They
that-
did that in Roseanne too.
Oh,
They
yeah,
changed.
Roseanne.
They changed Becky like twice. She
I
was
guess probably-
first she was someone else. Then she was Sarah Chalk. And
Oh.
Sarah Chalk was the girl nurse from Scrubs.
Roseanne probably did it first. That was probably before Fresh Prince too. So it's
True that.
Roseanning when you Bething. You got Beth when a new actor plays a character with like no explanation. Best instance might be them replacing Unknown Henson with Tracy Morgan on Squidbillies with like absolutely no explanation at all. That's pretty hilarious.
Dude, we should do that with our band and just fucking change an entire lineup without any notice, and this another band just releases an album under our band name.
Instead of me, you and Ben will just like get like 3 of these little 15-year-old kids that follow us around to all of our shows, and we'll just insist that they are us now.
Hey, speaking of releasing music, you guys just released an album the first of this month, and it's really cool. And congratulations, guys!
Thank
You
you.
guys are awesome. It's called Sorry We're Not Better, and it's on all the things, right? You can find it places.
It's literally on everywhere. So when we were doing the distribution thing, it asks you, it's like, do you want to release it just on the major platforms or everything, including the free ones? And I chose that one. So
Hell
now it's
yeah.
on like weird Russian websites and like LinkedIn and shit.
That's what's up.
If you buy an iPad, it's on the iPad and you can't get rid of it, much like that U2 album.
Yeah.
That album was horrible. I can't
Oh my
believe I
God.
listened to it.
You know an album's bad when you give it away for free and people are still mad about it? Like, get this off of my device, please.
So, I have to know, did you guys pay Gary back when he loaned you that money?
Sean, did we pay your stepdad back?
What the fuck are you talking about?
This guy Gary, he's my stepdad, Sean. We wrote the songs together.
Yeah, but whose perspective was that from? Mine or yours?
I don't know. You're singing it, so that
I don't-
it's your stepdad.
I don't actually have a stepdad.
You're sure right about stepdad.
Well, did you pay your imaginary stepdad back? Or
I
are you
paid him
still
back in imaginary dollars.
okay?
Well, it's
Well,
like
that's good.
next song-
Yeah, so in order to like not have any bad blood, I have to call my imaginary stepdad and listen to his like really angry right-wing rants. So we just stay on the things, and they talk about football, and then he like tells me a really misogynistic story about the girl at his job.
Nice. That's.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he
that's
talks about
paying
how his-
enough.
Yeah, and he's got
Really
that like
painting a portrait
F-250.
of your imaginary stepdad.
Yeah,
Sean.
he's got an F-250 that he's always working on, but it's never running quite just right. Like he can get it to start, but like it fucking breaks down again in a week. He's just always
I told
bitching
him
about
like
it.
6 times that cylinder 3 misfire is going to get him every time. He needs to get that code straightened out.
He keeps saying it's like, oh, I just gotta hit the carburetor. It's like you don't have a carburetor. Your truck is from 2017. He's just opening it and just hitting the engine with the fucking rubber mallet.
That'll
Well,
fix it.
Imaginarily.
he
Yeah.
has one of those little soda devices, and that's what he was talking about. It was the carbonator all along.
He's got a soda stream, carbonates the gas, gets you better mileage.
But yeah, we spent most of the pandemic working on that album. We drove to South Carolina how many times? Like 4
Just
times?
twice.
No, it was like 4 times.
It wasn't 4 times.
Was it not? Was it only twice? It felt like longer.
You're thinking of the other band thing, I think.
Oh, we've got too many bands, Sean.
Some of us have 3 many.
3 mini bands. But yeah, super excited about the album. The response has been good. Hopefully going to be pressing it soon.
Yeah, I'm just glad all that
Nice.
shit is out there because we've been carrying some of those songs for like 5 years.
The funny
Oh,
thing
wow.
is that like I got some of those songs me and Sean wrote before we even started the band together, and we've been playing together now since 2017.
Yep, and
Uh,
it's now 2022.
why was that 5 years ago that we started this band?
It's not my fault. You guys told me to join.
That's true. We kind of roped you into it because our first guitar player wasn't very good. I'm sorry, Thomas. I love you. But Thomas was not very good, and thankfully Sean was or Ben, the drummer, was like, "Hey, there's this kid that lives on my couch. Do you
I had a room in his
want him to
house.
play? Do you want him to play in our band?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess sure. Bring him along. We'll see how he does." And he did all right, so he's still around. But yeah, the funny thing about the record is that we've had the masters and the roughs for a while. And like I listened to them a ton when we first got them back, so much that I got like really sick of them. And
Dude, I fucking hate this album now. I've listened to it so much.
Yeah, and then like I put it down for like, it was the roughs, and then I put it down for like a month and a half until we got the masters, and like basically ever since it's hit streaming again, I've probably made myself a ton of money just by listening to my own album on Spotify, because I'm like, shit, I kind of love it again. It kind of slaps again. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Ben, our drummer, is a majority shareholder in the band. So whenever you're splitting the royalties, yeah. So you can't divide 100 by 3. It turns out. So me and Jack own
a thing called math. I'm it's new to me, but
so me and Jack own 33.3% of Big If True's royalties, and Ben owns 3.34%. So he's a majority shareholder. So if we did have like a board, he would be like the main decision maker.
He could like just boss you guys around. He's basically
he could like make us go through a merger we didn't agree with.
Yeah.
It's like by Disney.
It's like just hazing you just for no reasons, like making you do shit. Yeah.
No, he has reasons to haze us.
Okay.
He is the dad of the group anyway, so that kind of makes sense. He's the only responsible adult of the three of us. So
the best way to describe our band is that I'm like the legislative branch, Jack is like the executive branch, and then Ben is like the judiciary branch.
And that is really good. That is really good.
It's checks and balances.
So Ben does have ultimate veto power.
Yeah, for the most part. But he vetoes things in the most like passive aggressive way.
Because me and Sean will sometimes try to sneak stuff around Ben, like get him to fall in love with a song before he really hears what the words are. You know, because we'll like in TV Dinner for One, there's a like wrote my thesis on my penis. You should have seen it. And like I really wanted to use that line. And so I was like, we need to like start singing it at practice and just kind of let him know what the words are when we record it and already have him fall in love with the way that the song goes. He'll be less likely to veto it then. There were a couple of lines in that song that he ended up vetoing. One of the like turnarounds in that song was Cherry Garcia, Dirty Sanchez, which he turned those lyrics around. They didn't really make a lot of sense. Me and Sean thought they were funny.
Cherry Garcia, what, Lopez?
Cherry Garcia, Dirty Sanchez.
Oh, nice.
You know, like a Dirty Sanchez, but like with cream. Like
oh, okay.
Yeah, but
nice.
Also the lyrics to that song changed so many times.
We really put way too much thought into those lyrics for how goofy they are.
No, honestly, we worked the least hard on lyrics, but we stress out about them the most.
And then there were a bunch of like last minute after we got the roughs back, I like had a few little lyrical changes that like I made Sean go back and redo, because I was like, no, this lyric is wrong. And then I've heard it in my head the right way and we have to do it right. You know, and so like I made him go back because there was in Elon Musk, there was a lyric that it was turn it all down around in this closet.
That's not Elon Musk.
I've already lost it. And then
the counter.
Yeah, and I made you turn it.
I made you change the title and the melody and the guitar part and the bass part and the drums and make it a completely different song.
Sean brings me songs and I'm like, I love that, except for this melody and the lyrics and the general guitar riff. And then
here's what he does. Here's what fucking Jack does, right? He's like, okay, yeah. I'll work for like 2 weeks on a song, and he'll be like, okay, so that part should actually be shorter. This part we shouldn't do. This should actually be the intro. This word should be penis. And and we basically fight until we have an album.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm always the one screaming shorter and faster. But yeah, it seems like me and Sean for like a while there, we were doing these sessions that I like to call songwriting. But Sean, we need to get back into songwriting.
I think we should just keep talking about getting back into it.
Yeah, I think we should. Plans that we never make good on. But yeah, I guess now the bad thing about releasing an album is like, well, shit, now I have to write more material because we have to record another thing. Yeah. So.
Or you could spend some time with your other two bands.
Yeah, well, Casual Sex, which is the other band, that's Sex, SECTS, like Sex of a Church, which is the other band that me and Sean are in together, has an EP coming out, hopefully Valentine's Day. That's what we're shooting for.
Nice.
But we recorded it in the world famous Blackbird Studios, which is where Gretchen Wilson recorded Redneck Woman, which is the one that I was freaking out about. I mean, sure, the board that I like used was recorded to record Steely Dan's Aja, but like I'm like, so Gretchen Wilson was here, like singing Redneck Woman right here, and I'm all about it. That song fucking slaps. I don't care who knows it.
That's awesome.
Oh fuck, Sean, Big If True Gretchen Wilson cover. We got to make that shit happen.
Okay, I'll get to work on that in a couple of years.
Yeah, get to it, Sean.
Put that up on the board.
I'll pencil that in.
Completely different. Change of topic onto something otherwise that's not this. What do you guys think happens after we die? In any particular order? Go ahead.
So, I kind of hope whatever you believed was the most wrong is real. So if like you were like if you like the Greek gods never existed, that's what happened. Or like Egyptian afterlife was canon this whole time and we didn't know.
I'm a big fan of the you just start right back over, either as a new person or just go back in time and start your life over. Big fan of that one. But honestly, like my belief in an afterlife is like your last minute or so on Earth just feels like a very prolongated amount of time because of the way that your chemicals melt down in your brain. And so like you experience this one sort of very vivid hallucination that seems like it lasts forever, but really you're just kind of suspended in the last minute or so of your life. And then I imagine it just kind of goes dark and you go to sleep. But I do like to think about the like, what if I came back as a pond frog? I think I'd be happy.
What if I came back as a pond?
Yeah, as a pond. You know,
dude, what if
as a little bad guy? You know.
I remember when I was in Sunday school and my my unpaid overworked Sunday school instructor was telling us that he was like, heaven is like the best thing you could possibly imagine and hell's the worst thing you can possibly imagine. So I was like, okay, so heaven's like 24/7 big coming all day, high five. And hell's like, oh man, my fucking cryptocurrency keeps going down. No?
My portfolio sucks constantly. This is hell.
My vape is always on the verge of dying. I need to recharge it, but there's no electrical sockets in hell.
So were you both raised religiously? Or
yeah, I was raised. Oh yeah, religiously, yeah.
Yeah, Sean's Catholic, so that. I was raised in the Church of Christ, which is pretty ironic for a musician, I understand. But yeah, no, it like my mom and dad weren't super religious, but my grandparents and all were, and I grew up in Western Kentucky, so it was a super religious like part of the world. I had a big like I should be a good Christian boy thing in high school and had my last hurrah with it, and it just never stuck. And then I became like sort of a hardcore atheist for a long time.
And I listened to straight edge punk.
Yeah, and then I listened to Evanescence and but like no, like I was a pretty hardcore atheist for a long time, and then I don't know, the last couple of years I've opened my like somebody pointed out that like what if everything we're experiencing is an incredibly complex computer program that would make the programmer by essence God and an afterlife by like like I was saying about the rebirth thing, like cut it, run the simulation again kind of deal when you die. So like the interest of like this is just some sort of weird complex computer program simulation and it's not real, whatever the fuck that means.
Dude, what if when you
I don't
die,
think
every magic 8-ball in existence is someone that has died, and that's how they have all the answers. So you become a magic
You mean
8-ball.
Magic 8-ball as in novelty item or magic 8-ball as in a bag of cocaine?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's
like, I feel like if every dead person were a bag of cocaine, we would know that by now.
yeah. If
But
human
large amount of
ashes were
torture-
cocaine, that would be a very
Yeah.
problematic.
People would
society.
be like a more valuable resource than they are now.
Yeah,
By
that would 100% be people being
Yeah.
killed for
Yeah,
their
if I had a
yeah.
coke problem, I'd go to a crematorium and be like, can y'all just cremate my foot?
like for the elbow down. It's running in the kill there. I gotta get my feet.
How much did I get cremated for $11?
Well, it's like, did you hear about the guy that like had to get his foot removed so he made tacos out of his foot? Like,
What?
it's kind of the same deal. Did you guys not hear about that?
No.
Yeah, there's this all over Reddit forever,
Doesn't
but
sound
some dude
legal.
on Reddit, like, they like for some reason gave him his foot after his amputation, so he made tacos out of his own foot and ate them.
Jesus Christ. What a legend.
Yeah.
Speaking of amputations, we wrote one of the songs on the album completely by accident because we completely amputated one of the songs that was recorded from our memory.
Yeah. Turns out me and Sean are slackers and don't have great memories, so we forgot we wrote one song and thought we were a song short for the album.
No, we were confused because I was like, what the fuck is the 12th song? And we were or it was at the time the 11th song. We were so confused because it's like, okay, there's one missing. We went through them. That's all of them. And then literally like 2 days before we were going to take the long drive to go to the studio. We're like, oh fuck, it's that one song that was formerly known as Spiders.
That's now Sid's Toy Box. But we almost completely forgot about Sid's Toy Box on the album and wrote Interstate because we completely forgot about Sid's Toy Box. And thank God we did, because Interstate, I think, is one of my favorite songs on the album.
That song sucks.
I really like it. I feel like...
I actually think... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to say, I feel like Interstate was
go ahead.
sort of... No, go ahead. No, it's like the first song me and Sean wrote like 100% together from the get-go. So I feel like it has a special chemistry that way. Love you, Sean.
Which song?
Go fuck yourself, Sean.
No, I'm seriously confused. Which one? Interstate?
Yes, Interstate.
Okay, yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, we did that one together. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think Sid's Toy Box is actually my favorite on the album. I like that one a lot.
Oh,
all right, so this is why you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Tell me more. I'm intrigued.
Ding dong, your opinion is wrong. Music is not subjective.
Tell me why not to like your song.
That song, that one's interesting because me, Sean, and Ben all wrote it together at practice. And usually, like, our writing process is more me and Sean write a song, or one of us writes part of a song and we bring it to practice and flush it out there.
We wrote that song in a basement with power that kept shocking us.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, that was at Jimmy's house where we, like, the power kept cutting out and then also shocking the hell out of us.
Probably because we shouldn't have had, like, really loud amplifiers plugged into the same wall socket.
Nah.
But maybe the song wouldn't have been what it is if you hadn't have
No, it would have been better probably, yeah.
Yeah, I really wish that sometimes we would record the fights we get into when we're trying to nail down the structure of a song. We're more or less usually saying the exact same thing, but we don't think that we are.
Yeah, then we like really dig into each other's insecurities when we disagree with each other.
Sean really starts to go ham on the fact that my dad's dead, and I'm like, dude, that's mean. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
You have to like,
oh, there he goes again. Oh, my dad's dead. Everyone's dad's eventually fucking dead. You're not special.
Everyone's dad dies, Jack. You're not special.
Damn.
Oh, that's classic Sean. That's the classic kind of banjo we get into songwriting. Really stuff you can haul back to your therapist, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
dig deep. We just pick at each other's weight. Like fights that our spouses confided to each other in like confidence. Like it's like I'm really worried about Sean and this, and then Jack will fucking bring it up and it's like, oh yeah, well your wife told me this, and it's just it just gets messy. Then we pick on each other's financial situations.
I really regret letting you look at my books. I gotta say, you brought it up a lot. But like me and Ben were talking recently about how now whenever a band plays a cover, Sean has ruined me. And here's how Sean has ruined me. I think everyone playing a cover is a bit now. Because Sean loves to do this bit at practice or shows or whatever, where he plays like one song and like just throwing out a few that are his favorites. The Sweater Song or Say It Ain't So by Weezer, any Van Halen, just something real goofy to cover like that. He throws it out and then starts singing some other song's words on top of it, right? We're like, he's just done it so much now that we were at a show the other night and a band starts playing Day Tripper by the Beatles. And when the vocals came in, I was expecting it to be something completely different. Like I was expecting the bit. And then I was like, oh no, they're just covering the Beatles.
So your brain's all messed up now.
My favorite part about those bits is even if they fucking suck and they're not funny at all, I came up with that right then. That's an original idea.
Really liked Back in Black over Wonderwall. That was a great one.
My favorite thing to do is Back in Black over Redbone, the Childish Gambino song, because Brian Johnson and Childish Gambino sing with the same melisma, kind of, to the point to where they were trying to find a replacement for Brian Johnson. I was like, why don't they just ask Donald Glover?
I would absolutely go see AC/DC fronted by Donald Glover. That would be fantastic.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, like it would be like imagine him trying to cover all those songs though. It wouldn't be a good idea,
yeah, it'd be better.
Well,
I think
maybe.
I think he'd knock it out of the park.
Oh man, I would be interested to see now. Now they got Childish Gambino watching this. Do that thing. You're definitely watching this podcast. I know you are. This is your favorite show.
Well, long-time listeners, Childish Gambino and Angus Young of AC/DC.
Yeah,
this happened.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys. You know, like I know it's a big deal me shouting your name out on this show. Like you're gonna get all kinds of tweets now, but I'm sorry, I gotta see it. I gotta see.
Man, you're really helping expand their career.
I know. I mean, that's just what I do.
It's kind of like when Kanye put out that single with Paul McCartney, and everyone was like, "It's good for Kanye doing stuff with these little-known artists like Paul McCartney."
Right. That's an interesting thing. Like, I feel like there's this debate that goes on. It's like old music used to be better, and then the pushback against that. And where I kind of sit on that is like, we only hear a very small spectrum of the music from the oldies, right? It's like, unless you listen to that genre, or not genre, but you listen to music, specifically listen to music from that time frame, you're not getting a fair kind of like assessment, right? Because we're bombarded with garbage today, so of course it seems worse.
Well, yeah, but also you got to think on the other side of that, like how many like Delta Blue songs are about having a big wiener? How many Kiss songs are about having a big wiener?
We're not going to sit here and sully the name of Bull Moose Jackson's My Big 10-Inch, okay? That song is incredible.
That song is real catchy.
It is really catchy.
I'm glad we took the same college courses.
But like my kind of opinion on that has always been that like music, like people who say music suck now are dumb. Like their music is more expansive and there's more of it now than ever before. Like, because we had like, and I never really got the opinion either, because it's like I listen to 70s music all the time. It's not like we lost that in the 70s. And
wait, 70s music, like music from the 70s, or music that's at 70 BPMs?
I have a playlist that's a mix of both. It's really weird.
You try to jog to it, but you're like, I gotta walk.
I try to jog to it, but then I start to feel like Werner Herzog just a little bit, so I stop. But yeah, it's just like I feel like if you think music is boring and lame right now, it's because you aren't seeking out good music.
Yeah, you're not looking for it. Yeah,
It's out there. Like there's all kind. Like I
that's
find new artists all the time that I'm like, holy shit, this is incredible.
so. It's also like when people say that, like I like the old music better. It kind of makes me think, like, what do you mean, like on average? Because we do have a lot more music now, so that
Yeah.
means there's a lot more garbage. So if we're actually trying to figure this out, it's like, I mean, we do have a lot more stuff, but I guess that means there's a lot more good too, right? So it's like, and then we'd have to get like all of this shit's subjective. So how do we even measure this? It's like,
Yeah, and it's like the gatekeepers that put out the shitty stuff now were the people who kept like.
Wait,
they
the original
kinda
lineup of the
all of
Gatekeepers or the new lineup with Mark Holcomb?
that first thing. But I just mean like, the record labels that put out the shitty stuff now and the pop music that everyone loves to complain about. Those were the only people putting out music back then. Now any jackass with a computer can put out an album. Case in point, we put out an album. Look, we're jackasses with computers. Like, so like, it's like, I find it just a really boring argument to say there's no
yeah,
good, how our music used to be better. It's like, there's a lot of bad music out there now. There's also like so many people in their bedrooms putting out incredible music.
right.
Like,
Oh yeah, Jack. Name 35.
I got at least a few. There's like this the one of the dudes that like blows me away is I like ska a lot. I'm a big ska guy.
Mm.
And the Ska Tune Network guy. If you ever watch him, he plays every single part of like a 9-piece, 12-piece ska arrangement, the trombone, the fucking tambourine, everything.
Wait, whoa. Did he do the Childish Gambino ska covers? Was that Ska 2 Network?
I think it was, yeah.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Or like but there's just like guys like that. Or like I fell in love with this musician from Pittsburgh named Jack Stauber that I listened to.
Yeah. What's that track? Hold on, don't tell me. Jack Stauber. What's his big one?
Buttercup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know, but I fuck with that.
I stumbled across him on Reddit and I fell into his stuff hard. But like, like there's a whole generation of Mac DeMarco archetypes now to listen to, and there's a bunch of incredible like people making incredible music in their bedrooms, and you don't have to wait for like Paramount or Arista or whoever to put out an album for you to listen to it. Plus, it's like a lower investment now too. Like used to, you had to like research an album and find out if you were gonna like it. And like I'm kind of showing my age because I used to have to do this when I was like a teenager. But it's like you would hunt down records and like you'd have to spend $15 on them or $12 on them or whatever. So like you had to be picky, and there was no Spotify or anything.
Yeah, and you were more invested in listening to that CD because you have like a financial stake in it.
Yeah, it's like I ordered my copy of International Super Hits by Green Day out because I spent my own $15 on it. So I probably listened to that record like, for months straight and then several times after that too.
It's like I gotta get my money out of this. I have to.
Dude, I grew up at the time where if you wanted to buy a CD, you couldn't. I had to go to Kmart because if you bought a CD from Walmart, it would be censored. You couldn't get a non-explicit one. So we had a record store that was about 30 minutes from my house that like actually sold like new releases, or you went to a Kmart and past the sporting goods sections, they had the CDs. And I remember one time I was like 9 or 10 and I could either buy Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits, it was $14.99, or I could buy it from Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy.
Which one did you pick?
I picked the Fall Out Boy one, if you can't tell by how my life has turned out.
I mean, I really would have believed either one, honestly. I remember the first CD I bought was Good Charlotte's The Young and the Hopeless.
I've bought that record also.
Yeah, that was a big. Oh, well, I made my mom buy me Smash Mouth's Astro Lounge when I was like 8, but I don't know if that counts.
Did you grow up and beat your spouse?
No.
You didn't get the message of that album then.
I really didn't.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I bought Good Charlotte, a couple of those, like Rise Against, also Green Day. I have, what's funny is I have no idea where any of those things are.
I still have all my CDs from high school and stuff. They're like in my collection still. I had them in one of those big stupid binder things, so they all like made it, you know. Red Hot Chili Peppers Greatest Hits was one of the first ones I bought, which
My
probably
my uncle gave me that CD, and I used to take that in my CD player to. I went to a Christian daycare, and you weren't allowed to listen to non-Christian music while you were there. So I had a Switchfoot CD and I had a Reliant K CD that I would keep my Red Hot Chili Peppers Greatest Hits CD in, and then I would pop that in my
Hell yeah.
CD player, which I powered with batteries stolen from the Zenith remote control.
Damn, it's a bad kid. It's
Yeah,
like
hell yeah, man.
running that motherfucking Sunday school, bro.
he transmuted those fucking batteries into his
No, dude, my first like 5 CDs is like a super weird mixture because it was that Fall Out Boy CD. It was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. It was American Idiot. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, and then the Korn album that had Twisted Transistor on it.
Wow, this really makes a lot of sense as to why we were friends, because I think I had every single one of those CDs in my collection too.
Yeah, I think me and you got into a fight at an anime convention at some point before we met each other.
Are you that dude I teabagged at that Green Day concert in 2007?
Are you the guy? Are you the guy whose balls I licked at that one concert?
Oh my god, I am that guy.
No, I had one of those situations. Holy shit! So I was on tour, not that exact situation, obviously, but I had this really crazy situation recently. I was on tour with my thrash band, Toxic Culture, and I was, you know, as you do, I played the show. I don't drink anymore, so I'm always sober for these moments. But everyone else was, you know, drunk and kind of winded down, and so we were all like, well, "Let's go back to the place we're staying, drink some more, and hang out." I was like, "Cool." And so I got to talking to this kid who was like drinking but not like drunk, and we got to talking about, you know, shows we had been to, bands we had seen and stuff. He was like, "Oh, I got one. When I was a kid, when I was like 12, I went and saw the Descendants in Chicago." And I was like, "Oh, wild. Like, what year was that?" And he was like, "It would have been like 2012." And I was like, "Oh, I saw the Descendants in Chicago in 2012." And come to find out, like, the Descendants had pulled the kids up for all logistics and like made them recite them. And he was the kid that was standing directly in front of me when I was standing in front of the stage.
Whoa.
You're talking to him, and I realized that he was that kid, and like I could even picture him, like what he was wearing that day and stuff. But
Holy
like,
shit.
Trip pants.
I was like kind of stoned, and it like blew my mind. I was like, "Holy shit! Like we've been this far from each other before. That's weird."
Yeah, he
And
was wearing trip
I was
pants
in
and
Chicago or
audios and
somewhere
a shirt
far
with all
off.
those
I was
bunnies
8
on
hours
it.
from home. You know, it was a weird one.
Completely off topic again. Do you guys have any ghost stories?
So when I was a kid, I had a little old lady who like watched me from the corner, but she was really sweet, so she never did anything or bothered me or anything.
Yeah, that qualifies.
I think she just felt like protective, and like I'd catch little glimmers of her, but I
Oh.
mostly like felt like she was just like staring at me, you know.
Oh, I got you. I thought when you started the story off, I thought you meant like from across the street, like an actual old lady.
No, it was just like an old
Okay.
like spirity thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Gotcha.
mean, looking back on it, it could just be my like really overactive child imagination, but
I really so
really weird to me.
with that kind of stuff, I don't think there's really much of a difference. And I mean, maybe that's I'm not a expert on the subject at all, so don't, you know, do what you want with this. But I think it's like some of those cases like mental illness, there's crossover with that kind of stuff, is what I'm saying. So I guess not even mental illness, but like children have hyperactive imaginations, right? So it's like they can pick up on things like this, but I don't necessarily think that's necessarily their imagination all the time, I guess. And there's like the imaginary and real kind of like I think that's a poor way of looking at it sometimes.
You know, I feel like perception is such a large part of reality that perceiving something to be true is almost as good as it being true. Which is kind of like why we're in politically such a mess that we're in, is so many people perceive reality to be like 80 different ways. But it's like, what's the difference in me as a kid perceiving that like some sort of spirit to be there and a spirit actually being there if I was the only one to perceive it there anyway, you know.
Right.
Dude, I got a pretty crazy ghost story. And actually, so when we were recording Big If True's first EP in Kentucky, so we were sleeping. So the recording studio that we were recording at, we were also staying at because it was like a converted house. And everyone went to sleep. I was the last person to go to sleep because I couldn't sleep. And then like I felt this hot breath on the back of my neck, and I felt this cold, like wet, slimy thing go from the heel of my foot all the way up between my shoulder blades. And after I pushed Jack away from him licking my back and breathing on me, I saw a ghost in the corner.
Holy shit, dude. What did it look like?
It looked like Ben telling us to go to bed.
The bad
That's
thing
intense, bro.
is that I knew it was a bit from the first word this time. I'm getting better. Sean is like the kind of person that you really can't read when he's doing a bit, but I'm getting a lot better at it.
Is that your only ghost story, Sean? You got any more for me?
When I was like 11, I was terrified of the dark still because I always shared a room with my brother, and like when we moved to a different house, I had my own bedroom, and I was really freaked out. And I would be terrified to close my eyes because I was scared something was going to like grab me or something. So I would sit in my bed with my eyes open, unblinking until I passed out every night for about 2 or 3 years until I got over it. But one night I was staring to the center of my bedroom, which was only lit by moonlight, and I saw a Caucasian hand moving a pink jump rope. But it could be psychosis to the fact that I was only sleeping like 3 to 4 hours a night because of how scared I was of the dark.
Well, there's something to be said about that, right? Like you obviously felt like you were in danger if you didn't like stay awake and like look at it, or look
Yeah.
at something. So, I mean, I can really like not to that degree, but like I can relate to that as a kid is like feeling like it's almost like if you can see into a darkness, like say you have a closet and you can't see all the way through it, it's like that's a perfect, or like the corner of a room, and it's like you start hyper fixating on it, you start looking at it, and like your heart starts beating, and then you start imagining something coming out of it or something, and that's it kind of like that, right?
Yeah, like if you're in a room and there's like a hoodie hanging on the wall and it kind of looks like a specter, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's just, you turn the light on, oh, it's just a hoodie,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just a coat.
Yeah.
There's definitely been a ton of times I've had to turn the light on to make sure that the pile of laundry in my chair is not a human.
And maybe there is a way we could rationalize that as like we could. I've actually heard an argument like that's instinctual. Like children are afraid of the dark because there's predators outside. You can get mauled by like a panther. So like there's that, but like it sounds like that's something we've not. I mean, like not to the degree Shad was, but like kind of all experienced a little bit. It's like where like that fear as a child, and I don't know, the way that feels doesn't feel like an instinct thing that way. It feels like something else, like something else is going on there.
No, I see what you mean, because when I was a kid, I would develop new fears on a weekly basis. I remember we were learning about like meteorology in like science class, and every time I saw a dark cloud, I was like, "There's gonna be a fucking tornado," and I would hide in my bathroom for hours because that's where you're supposed to go according to the textbook that was written by Harcourt in 2007.
When I
Yeah.
was a small child, I was absolutely terrified of the pallet jack thing from Lowe's that beeped when it backed up. And I was like convinced that there was a miniature model of the pallet jack thing from Lowe's in our like hallway, and it like hid when I came into the hallway, but it was there. I had like that thing going.
Whoa,
Do you think that if
that's
Tin Man
awesome.
from Wizard of Oz, do you think if he had a penis, it would look like one of those old timey garden spouts?
I imagined it looking like the oil can, like
Hmm.
like the oil can's more or less just a detachable Tin Man penis.
And his balls are just like the executive balls, the hit back
Like
and
the
forth with endless
yeah,
inertia.
like the Newtonian like desk ball thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for, is Newtonian.
yeah. but he has like 5 of them, so you can do the clacky thing.
What was his thing? What did he want in the whole scheme of things? I don't even remember. Oh.
Mm.
Did he want like student loan debt forgiveness or something?
Yeah, that was it.
We should do a millennial Wizard of Oz where it's healthcare and student loan forgiveness
And James Franco's the protagonist.
and legal weed and an end to the drug war.
Bernie Sanders is the wizard.
Bernie Sanders would be the wizard in that one.
We're going into the ocean.
Back to the topic.
What are you guys' like? If you had to pick one album, what's your favorite album?
Period. Just overall.
Yeah, just overall, or like what? Oh no, here's a better question. What's the album that changed your life?
See, that's not going to be as good of an answer, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of because mine's like really predictable. It's Nirvana's Nevermind, probably.
I'm gonna butt in here.
Yeah.
The album that changed my life was New Wave by Against Me. Something about that one. I don't know why, but it changed the way that I looked at music.
It usually is one where it's hard to pin down what it is exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw Against Me in I think it was in 2011, and me and my wife were not dating at the time, but we're both independently at that show. I have fond memories of that show. It was a great show.
I'm gonna. My answer is gonna be "Dust of Retreat" by Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos.
I am not familiar with that one. I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah, I'll send you a link or something. It's really depressing, fucking indie music, but I listened to that album. I mean, at least once a week for the last 5-6 years. So I kind of have to go with that.
What about you, Sean?
I wouldn't pick an album because I'm trying to think of one that was like the most important to me. I think the most influential thing on me musically was the film School of Rock.
Yeah, I honestly would probably put that like way up there for me too. The film School of Rock did more for like my taste than what I do for a living.
Dude, I'm glad that movie came around when it did because I was really into the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films and I was getting to the point where I was about to jump off of fucking buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I saw School of Rock instead, and that kind of steered me in the right direction.
I would say also I can't like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtracks. I can't really.
Oh my god, yes.
What a big influence the Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
SSX too. I found so much fucking music from Tony Hawk and SSX. Autopilot Off. Do you guys remember them? It's like a really obscure fucking band that I just fell in love with because they were on SSX, and I just. Anyway, I'm sorry.
All of the Dave Mirra games and like Jet Set Radio Future, they all had incredible soundtracks.
Yes.
I was talking. Another huge one. I know this is for me and Sean both, but the soundtrack to Fooly Cooly, the Pillow, is another huge one for both.
Well,
nice.
I had my favorite anime soundtracks of all time.
Pillows are one of my favorite.
No, I had the back. So here's the thing. I found out about the Pillows before Fooly Cooly. I still haven't watched Fooly Cooly in its entirety.
I did the same thing. I found the Pillows before I found Fooly Cooly, which is generally people do the other way around. But Sean, have you really never seen Fooly Cooly, at least the first season in its entirety? Because we need to do that.
No, I haven't.
It's incredible. I have it on Blu-ray. We should watch it. Incredible.
Okay, can we watch it on a standard def television though, so that way it can be era appropriate?
Pause the podcast. Me and Sean are gonna go watch all of Fooly Cooly, and then we'll come back and report.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll do a follow-up episode just called Fooly Cooly Commentary. It'll all be about Fooly Cooly. I'm down.
No, it's just like that thing we're talking about before the podcast where it's just Scufflemoss watching a show with no commentary, and all you see is the back of his head and the television, and then the stream's over. And there's like a bunch of super chats that don't get answered.
Yeah,
That sounds about right. I would probably do that.
That's a great idea.
So what's your favorite album then?
My favorite album?
The album that changed your life. What's your favorite album?
You're not getting out of this, Sean.
I think the most probably my favorite album that kind of taught me that you don't really have to have your idea finished necessarily. That you need to get it out, because the reason that I'm in a band at all is I come up with riffs and like little melodies in my head, and they get stuck in my head until it becomes something, and then it's out of my head and I hate it. If that makes any sense.
You just described the artistic process, Sean.
I'd probably say Pinkerton is my favorite album.
What is?
Pinkerton.
Yeah, that's fair. I've shifted. Blue Album was always my favorite Weezer album, but I think I've shifted back to Pinkerton. I think Pinkerton's the better Weezer album.
I'm a bigger Weezer stan than you in general, though. I've given each of their albums one listen in its entirety, and sometimes it was very rewarding, and oftentimes it was not. But there's some good stuff there.
Listening to the Red Album was very rewarding.
The Red Album's pretty decent.
Yeah, okay.
There's a song about baseball and make believe. I still can't get my head around. It keeps me up at night.
There is a certain era of British pop rock, like Arctic Monkeys, Block Party.
I love Block Party.
Man, there's a certain like niche in that genre that like I just love so much.
It's not even Ferdinand British.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw them at Cannery Ballroom, also an incredible show.
I saw Modest Mouse, and I was like, when the fuck are they going to play that one song? And it was a Franz Ferdinand song the whole time.
You thought Modest Mouse did Take Me Out?
Yeah. I was like, when are they going to play this? I paid $75 for this ticket.
Oh my God. I saw Muse at a Stone Amphitheater, and fucking 30 Seconds to Mars opened.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking great show.
Muse was amazing. Muse was fucking amazing.
Did Jared Leto do that thing where he tells people to get up even though they're clearly not into it? He's like, no, I'm not continuing the song until you get up.
So we didn't get there on time. So there was already a band playing, and the person I was with at the show was like, so when is who is this? There was like, we didn't know where we were in the show. We didn't know if they'd played yet or not. So I was like, I wonder when 30 Seconds to Mars is going to play after they played their set, because we missed when they played the one song that everyone knows. And he didn't come out looking like himself. He had like big sunglasses and he had a Preds jersey on. And he was waving around a Preds flag, and no one knew it was Jared Leto or 30 Seconds to Mars.
And he had damaged written on his forehead.
Yeah. But yeah. We didn't even know that it was 30 Seconds to Mars until they were gone.
Ascend is one of my favorite places to see shows in Nashville, because like they always put the wackiest openers on for some reason. Like it'll be I guess it wasn't Ascend, but I saw the Violent Femmes open for the Bare Naked Ladies, which should have been the other way around, honestly. But it was like the same story as Sean, where like I waited for the Bare Naked Ladies to play that one damn song. And like, of course, they didn't play it till way towards the end of their set. And I finally just gave up. And as we were leaving, they started to play it. And I was like, oh, God damn it. What's the best concert you guys have seen post-COVID?
Post-COVID.
I haven't been to any concerts. So
I've actually been to a lot. Wait. Give me like what do you mean? Like when time frame? Like give me
it's like, I mean, I played a show. I guess being a musician, like I play like 150 plus shows a year, like normally. And then
big deal or anything.
In March of 2020, and then didn't play another show until July 2021. So it's like a year and 3 months that I took off. So I was just like, I've been to a few shows since then.
Like the last 6 months?
Yeah, last yearish.
Probably. Man, that's really tough.
I have plans to go to the RHCP show in Nashville.
Really?
But I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. Well, it's the original lineup. I've never seen the original lineup before.
How much were those tickets?
I haven't bought them yet because the tickets that I wanted when I saw them were about $180.
Jesus Christ.
So now I'm probably gonna end up buying another guitar instead.
I'm probably gonna have to say the best one I saw was at East Room. It was Young Robot, King Lazy Eye, and Flummox all together, and that was Sky's the Limit Volume 1. That was a great fucking show.
I love Flummox. They're good friends of mine.
Yeah, shout out to Flummox. They released a song today that this is recorded, not today that it's going up.
Yeah, there's a new album coming out for Flummox. So
Hell yeah.
none of us are affiliated with Flummox, but we're gonna play because they're our friends.
I think I sold the basis for Flummox and instrument cable at some point.
Yeah, that makes sense. On the list of bass players I bow down in front of, Allie is definitely one of them. She blows me the damn away with her bass playing.
So speaking of shows, you guys are playing in March. I have the date somewhere on the 12th at Sprig at the Springy Water.
Yes, we're playing for it's a Scufflemoss thing.
Yep,
Yeah,
Scufflemoss
it is.
show.
It's my album release show.
Yep,
Hell yeah.
that's a great lineup. We got that's Sons of Our Fathers and Redgar and the Fighters, right, Scuff?
Yeah, that's right. But you guys are playing another show before that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we're playing,
Yeah, they
we're
are.
playing March 5th at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro with this Stephen King themed pop punk band called the Stevens. I'm very excited about it. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. So
What did you say the date on that one was?
March 5th.
March 5th.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at that one.
Hell yeah.
You see, the thing is, we tried to do the Stephen King thing in the Big If True set, but we can never get Ben to agree to do the whole running train on each other thing.
Yeah. We just couldn't get around the theme of little boys' penises enough to be on Stephen King's level. This is some deep cut jokes for people who have read all of it because it's a behemoth of a book to read.
Yeah,
not
I
that
read
long.
the whole thing. I've had the PTSD from that book. I don't hide it, but I have it.
I listened to the audiobook and it was like 47 hours long.
Nice. That's like a audio Game of Thrones book or something.
Yeah, every King is like that.
I'm not actually a big Stephen King fan, but I'm a huge Shining fan. And Kubrick.
Do you like Shinedown?
Yeah, bro. We're on the same page.
Fucking love me some Shinedown.
Shinedown.
Hell yeah.
It's like I just saw Haley's. Is that
That's not
Oh, me.
Shinedown, no.
is that Creed? They're the
That's
same
not
thing.
Creed either.
No,
No.
That's
Who is
they're all the same fucking band. No, you're right. It's not either of those bands, but they're all the same band.
No, you always
Is that a Three Doors Down song?
No, it's fucking no. I was right the first time. It's fucking Shinedown. But that's
It's
my
Shinedown.
point. They're all the same band.
No, Shinedown is the song that's staring down the barrel of a 45.
That's also Shinedown.
45.
Yeah, the Shinedown guy is the guy that's like all Trumpy and says a bunch of stupid stuff all the time.
No, that's a different band.
Oh, God.
That's Stained.
That's a different band. That's the same band.
They're all the same band.
Yeah.
No, they're different. They're distinct, just like all the new metal bands were distinct, and just like how I unironically like Linkin
I think
Park.
about this a lot. It's like, could you imagine if Kurt Cobain were still alive and had to suffer through the bands that like he paved the way for? Because like all of those bands are like post grunge, right?
I'm gonna say something kind of maybe controversial, but maybe those wouldn't be so many post Nirvana bands if Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself. Would they have?
Well, people blame Nirvana, but really those singers kind of like you can see like the Pearl Jam influence way more than the
it's like
Nirvana
Pearl Jam
influence.
and Chris Cornell and Scott Weiland and all of those guys.
I guess it was coming up, yeah.
Yeah, those guys were all good and talented musicians, and then that got recycled a few more times, and then we got left with like Daughtry, Stain, Shinedown, and all of these bands that are virtually undistinguishable.
Yeah.
Didn't like the Daughtry guys? Didn't his daughter get kidnapped in Nashville recently?
What the fuck?
I don't know anything about that.
Something like that happened.
Yeah, I have not heard anything about that. That's crazy.
I have my laptop in front of me. I'll just
If you just said Daughtry's been dead since 2013, I would have been like, yeah, probably. I don't know.
No, of all of the American Idol winners, Daughtry was always had like the thing.
Actually, Daughtry's bass player just left the band like 2 days ago.
Jack, why'd you leave the band?
Oh man, I didn't know I was touching on such like current events.
So this is fucked up. Okay, November of 2021, Chris Daughtry and his wife on Wednesday shared the cause of their 25-year-old daughter's sudden death late last year. Daughtry said that after a full investigation, it was determined that their daughter, Hannah Price, died by suicide November 12th in Fentress, Tennessee.
Okay, no, that was not a kidnapping then. Good word.
Well, you got the telephone wrong on that one, Sean.
Well, look, there's a little trivia.
Look, man, I get my news from weird places. It goes through like 3 filters before it gets to me.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Hannah. I hope you are better now. Sorry, that's sad. Sad as fuck.
It's like we were talking about earlier. It's got the only news source is Infowars.com.
Oh,
the only real one.
That's where I get my real news. It doesn't have all that soy in it.
Now let's see. Like I'm not a huge Shinedown fan, but I am a huge fan of that one guy's guitar.
What is
the Zach Myers PRS.
Oh, of course you would be.
You know what's weird is like people who get signature PRSs are in like bands that I just really don't listen to. Like they have the Mark Tremonti signature, the Carlos Santana signature. Dave Navarro's got a PRS.
Yeah, I was clipping out an old ad for a PRS, and it had like a list of their like featured players in the '90s, and like it was like Carlos Santana and 15 dudes I've never heard of.
Zach piano socks.
Signature
PRS bass.
It's not as ugly as the Zach Wild guitars. Zach Wild guitars are pretty ugly.
Wait, the Gibson Zach Wild guitars or like his brand, like the Wild Audio guitars?
Just kind of all of it.
No, so here's how I look at those Zach Wild guitars. Is like most, like let's say like an ESP is like a thin crust pizza, and then the Zach Wild guitar is like a deep dish pizza. It's just thick and caloric.
Oh yeah, Schecter falls into the like that's like St. Louis pizza, and then you got Dean. That's like California thin crust pizza,
Yeah, do you have a guitar podcast? I've got a lot to say about this.
Oh yeah, that would be like a whole nother podcast we'd have to do about gear.
Okay, so we're doing a post Fooly Cooley commentary video, and we're also doing a video that's just all about Sean talking about guitars. That'll be fun.
Between the two of us, we'd be here a while.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that you're gonna need another person in here for that one.
You're gonna need a mediator.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, we're over an hour now. I'm starting to get the sleepies, and I know Scufflemoss had to go soon. But this has been really fun, guys. And I appreciate you guys coming on. I really do appreciate people making new music and doing things, making art, because this has been a trying time on a lot of people. Like, and I know artists that haven't been making music. There's this kind of, I mean, it's kind of a thing because like during quarantine, what else do you do, right? That's kind of how I've been. It's like, but it is like it's good to see people making things, is what I mean. So.
Well, in an absence of shows to play, it just seemed like let's book some studio time and try to write some songs, because that's, as a band, you do two things. You either go out and you play shows, or you go to a studio and you record new music, and one of them was taken away from us, so we just channeled all of our energy into the other thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys made a thing for sure. And you shouldn't be sorry that you're not better. You're plenty good.
It's
thanks, Dad.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It means is mom proud too?
Just call me Gary.
Yeah.
I just want to
you're
say
the stepdad the whole time.
Before we get out of here, I just want to say, sorry we're not better is actually really, really good. Like,
Yes.
I've listened to it already 3 times, and honestly, I'm gonna listen to it another 4 before the end of the month. So if you really
I'm gonna hold
like
you to that.
pop punk, do it, man.
I'm gonna watch the Spotify statistics.
Okay, I'll start tomorrow. Jeez. But if you really like pop punk, ska, or any of those genres that generally your dad doesn't like, you're gonna like this.
Yeah.
Or if you were a teenager in 2005, you're really gonna like this album.
This Encompass 2005. Yeah. There you go.
Yo.
Before we go out too, Scuff, do you want to plug the thing we've got coming up? We have a thing coming up.
We do have a thing coming up. That's right. So I'm gonna be debuting as a listening party at Jack's Guitar Archaeology. We're gonna be debuting the album there as like a meet and greet kind of a thing. We're gonna play the album fully there. It's gonna be raffles and extra raffle tickets for $2. And it's a free event, just as long as people wear their masks.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I own a guitar store in Lebanon called Jack's Guitar Archaeology.
You're that Jack.
Yeah, I'm that Jack.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, we're going to be doing a thing at my store.
Okay, cool.
Listening party there. I also have a ribbon cutting this Friday at 4. I don't know when this is going to air, but if it's not 28 at 4, but then sure.
That's it.
The end of February. What date is that again, Scuff? February
26th.
26th. February 26th at 6:30. Come see me in Scufflemoss at my store.
Hell yeah.
I just want to say while we're still here that I couldn't ask for a better partner in crime. My favorite bassist in the planet, my favorite person whose name starts with J. Just give a shout out to Josh Helvig. Thank you so much, buddy.
I knew it when you started the bit.
Local business owner.
Player in our other band. Love you, Josh. Also,
I'm indifferent about you, Josh. That was mostly just at Jack's expense.
Yeah, it was. I know.
But hey, Alex, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
It's weird that people want me to talk about things that I did in the dark.
No, you guys are really fun. I've had a really good time with this. Links below. Sorry we're not better right where I'm pointing. So yeah, definitely go stream that places and give them money, buy the album.
Thanks, Alex.
I don't even have my camera on and I was pointing down in the comments.
I'm gonna believe Scufflemoss on that one.
I believe him. He's a trustworthy troll.
Well, this has been fun, boys. I'll talk to you.
All right. Love you guys.
See ya, Alice.
See ya.
Sayonara.